Thank you for visiting my channel. Before we start, please hit the subscribe, like, and share buttons to receive notification of future presentations. Our topic for today is the doctrine of non-refoulement. Non-refoulement is a fundamental principle of international law that forbids a country receiving asylum seekers from returning them to a country in which they would likely be in danger of persecution based on race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group, or political opinion. Unlike political asylum, which applies to those who can prove a well-grounded fear of persecution based on certain category of persons, non-refoulement refers to the generic repatriation of people, including refugees into war zones and other disaster locales. It is a customary international law, as it applies even to states that are not parties to the 1951 Convention relating to the status of refugees or its 1967 protocol. It is also a principle of the Treaty Law of Nations. Key characteristics of non-refoulement. 1. It is absolute nature under Convention Against Torture. Under the Convention Against Torture, non-refoulement is absolute. A person cannot be sent back to a country where they are likely to be tortured, regardless of national security or criminal concerns. 2. Customary international law. Non-refoulement is widely considered part of customary international law, meaning it binds states even if they are not parties to refugee conventions. 3. It applies beyond recognized refugees. It protects not only those formally recognized as refugees, but also those who claim or are at risk of persecution or serious harm. And 4. Territorial and extraterritorial application. States must respect non-refoulement at borders and ports of entry, high seas, diplomatic missions, and any place where the state exercises control or authority. Examples or scenarios where non-refoulement applies. Example number 1, deportation case. A Syrian national seeks asylum in country A. If country A deports him back to Syria where he faces a real risk of torture from a militia group, country A violates non-refoulement. Example number 2, airport scenario. A political dissident tries to enter the airport of country B. Even if inadmissible, country B cannot force him onto a flight back to a country where he will likely be executed. Example number 3, extraterritorial. A country intercepts a boat in the high seas carrying asylum seekers. Even if they have not entered the country, the intercepting state cannot return them if persecution risks exist. Philippine context. The Philippines is a party to the 1951 Refugee Convention, the 1967 Protocol, and the Convention Against Torture. Thus, the country is legally bound by the principle. The DOJ Refugees and Stateless Persons Protection Unit or RSPPU handles refugee status determination and asylum procedures. Legal basis. Philippine jurisprudence does not yet have an extensive case law on non-refoulement, but the Constitution, particularly Article 2, Section 11, protects human rights and aligns with this obligation. Section 11, Article 2 provides, the state values the dignity of every human person and guarantees full respect for human rights. Philippine Supreme Court reference. While the Supreme Court has not yet produced extensive refugee jurisprudence, it has recognized the following. 1. International law obligations on torture prevention, and 2. The duty to respect generally accepted principles of international law under the Constitution. One landmark case applying international law norms is the case of Secretary of Justice versus Lantion, GR number 139465, October 17, 2000. Thank you. If you find this presentation helpful, please subscribe to receive notification of future lectures.